We have been looking at different geographical phenomena in the Caribbean. We went through volcanoes, we went through, what the other one name? Earthquakes, hurricanes. So today we are looking at drought, floods, and Monday we look at coral reefs. So listen to these videos for me.
Million students. Derman has grown from a single.
All right, ladies, so that is one example telling us about floods in the US and the impact of flood. The impact of flood is everywhere. And I'm going to show another video where of flooding in Jamaica, the problems that we have had when it comes to flooding here.
Place flood out. Everything
no,
in the...
hold on. Tell me, you were in, what happened? You were asleep?
Yes, Rosie and her family were sleeping. Waking up, feel water and waking up. Right through the house, through the bathroom, through every door, kitchen door, every door. Everything in the house flood out. When I talk about everything, everything. No bed, no there for sleep on. Settee, where you could have rest in a phone, or you could have make phone call and video for sure. Everything flood out. I want back every single piece
so
of
what happened? You were sleeping and...
We were sleeping.
Yeah, and?
We were sleeping, hear Prince screaming. When Prince screaming, say water. When you jump up and look, there is water. Many water, like Elsha. That type of water was there. I want back everything. Cause from Olivia, a Sunlight Street, from here 2 months old, just born out of my mother. Left here. From me at 29, me left Sunlight Street. So here, me never have been seen my yard flood out yet. Or any house in the carpet here in Sunlight Street flood out yet. Never had been seen this yet. I there here before my maiden take and me never see it yet. So anybody see them lie. Cause we never see it yet. I want back everything. Laptop, phone, everything. A 5-phone flood, I want back everybody. Name brand furniture, name brand bed, and name brand car. Everybody flood out and want back everything. So, baby can't catch meningitis. A shit water and gully water. The baby from my baby, my nephew baby will come up. She flood out too with her baby, nice, pretty, clean skin baby them. Flood out, not a pimples, mosquito bite, nothing. Right now, you know what can happen to them? Them need to go to hospital. And we need all type of something to clean out the germs. And the fly them starting at the house now, no come look again. And it can't go on so. We have to do better.
What
Anybody?
cause it?
What cause it? The workman them cause everything. With all them cut the bridge, and none of them not coming at the yard for come look or go on. If them do just fix back right there, sir, the house on the flood out. Is the bridge cause everything? Is this big contract what going on at Sunlight Street 21 and a half Sunlight Street Kingston 13 cause every single soul things what happen in my yard. Last night to this morning at 3:30, flooding, the baby them could have been drowned in. We need justice, real justice we need. Justice we need. One back of furniture. And on a 30 grand bed in there and a 30 grand dresser. And a 30 grand fridge and a 30 grand rat nut. And a 30 grand and a 10 grand night table, touch lamp. Everybody, flat scream in there, mash up. Flood out the shit water and gully water. Nobody not come for look. Uncle the cameraman, it can't work so. We need justice. Justice. We need justice. We need justice over the yard there and the other yard. We need it. Can't you see the condition right in her? And the germs and the nasty. Right now on the left foot, a fly start at the place. 2 baby there, they don't look good. Call the contractor. We need the contractor. For the work here, we start. We need him. We want back everybody. Everybody. We want disinfectant, cheers, Dettol, soap powder, all type of thing to clean out the house. The baby them get meningitis. Them are sick and dead. We want justice.
All right, ladies, very colorful interview on CVM TV. Some years ago, I believe it was 2013 or before, where on this street in Kingston, they would have constructed a bridge, a new bridge, and it caused serious damage to homes. Now, one of the questions that we looked at yesterday was that some of the, we call it, flooding can be caused both by man-made and also another reason is that there's nothing you can do about it. But in this case, she would have blamed the construction of the new bridge, the poor construction, the poor infrastructure planning on the new bridge that would have led to the flooding of her home and other places in her community. And this is something that we have to take into consideration, that the lack of foresight by different government agents in constructing bridges and roads and all of these different stuff, they are contributing significantly to the different flooding in different areas. But very important, you could use this interview by her and write an entire essay on the effects of flooding on a community. And one of the first things that she would have mentioned is the loss of property. Her things that she would have owned, or the people in the community would have owned, that is very dear to them. Their phones, their whatnot, their beds, their settee that they used to sit on. All of these different stuff, the loss of properties. Next, diseases. She spoke about mosquito-borne diseases, fly. So obviously, if you're seeing fly there, that means that there's some dead things is around that is causing the fly. Germs, skin disease, she would have mentioned. And so we know for sure that flooding can cause these things. Next, she mentioned that the babies could have died, right? The babies could have drowned, as she said in her interview. And death is also one of the effects of flooding, or one thing that flooding could cause. And then we cannot ignore the fact that even though it was very colorful, that she said that the water, contaminated water, would have also there, right? So just imagine that you have baby people, your entire furniture and everything. You have to pay a lot of money to sort out the furniture and those things. I'm going to show another video of another flooding that took place last year in November, and in which a young lady from that's Queens died in Shooter's Hill. I believe it is in St. Thomas, right? Or would be somewhere along that side.
The first instance happened over the other side of Shooter's Hill, where this man, he lost his life and also his daughter. We never know that something like that will have happened to us over on the other side of the hill of Shooter's Hill.
The home in the house after 3 before me hear some rumbling going outside, you know? So I pull the window and I look outside. I see where the stone wall. I leave it, I give way. After hearing the stone wall, I give way. I come out in the next part of the house. I realize that inside of the house, the floor bottom, it says break. By daylight, fear come up, I realize the whole place start open up and give way. So I wake up and I just come out and I get some people, shout out to some people and get some assistant right away if we can get out some stuff when we can get out. We did want some man strength to take out some more things, but we leave what we can take out, and eventually this is what the house look like now. Each days and days it keep on tearing off, breaking down. The bar gone right down, lose all of my goods, them everything just demolish away. Which I thank God for life. The greatest in my wake now when I hear the rumbling and the jumbling, so I didn't get to collapse in it, and I thank God for that, the most important thing.
Well, it's a very hurtful feeling to know that you had lived somewhere and this disaster had happened. You understand? Because no one has ever prepared for a disaster. So when a thing like this happens and you have to be somewhere else that you weren't living, it kind of have a hurtful feeling, but one of the greatest things is to know that you are alive. So you can start all over again.
Right now up here, water run to the house, honestly.
You don't plan on moving?
Move away out. That is the next move. Move is one, yes, but if you have something for go, you don't have nowhere else to move. Maybe that's from 1970. 1970, maybe that's another first make us do something like this. Not easy.
I would give thanks if I really receive a food for the poor house, but as they say, I think the government should at least seek some land where we can probably go and reside from them of the house.
So far, Miss Juliet Olness, my MP, she came here and she deal with all of us who get washed away good. She even sent us to the shelter, but I don't wish to go to the shelter. I'm staying at my mom's home for the time being, but there's other people that round there. She give us food, bathroom necessaries. She treating us good, and so far as fair consequence alone get this terrible damage. So she dealing with it officially, to my knowledge.
All right, again here another important interview telling us some of the effects of flooding on individual communities. In one of the interview, the young lady mentioned that her shop, so she has a shop which is her bread, where she get her living from her livelihood. And so she said all of that was basically destroyed in the flooding. And also the community displacement. The older man in the video said he lived there from 1970. So we live here from 1970. Where are we going to go? That's a very important question. So community members are displaced as a result of the flooding. And also, this flooding, in one of the interviews, they would have mentioned that the flooding was caused as a result of the government redirecting the river. So all of this now is the government poor construction that is causing flooding in these areas, right? Let us look at a newscast to talk about some of the impact of other issues that they would have gone through when it comes to flooding.
Good afternoon, I'm Vashon Brown with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. Sections of the corporate area were again flooded after heavy rains associated with an area of unstable weather linked to Hurricane Delta. Poor drainage is being blamed for the flooding being experienced on Marcus Garvey Drive. Videos received by our news team showed persons pushing their vehicles in almost waist-high water along the 6-lane road. That issue has been a long-standing one. In 2016, flood waters from that road destroyed approximately $1 billion worth of coffee beans, which were being stored at the Wallingford Coffee Company warehouses. In August, the National Works Agency, NWA, said it could cost up to $1 billion to build a drain that is adequate to prevent flooding on Marcus Garvey Drive. Executive Director of the NWA, E.G. Hunter, made the disclosure during a Jamaica House press briefing. Mr. Hunter said the road that was reopened in 2017 after a $20 million upgrade work does not have adequate drains. He said one is now being designed to mitigate against flooding whenever it rains. And over in St. Thomas,
another example, and I think the news did not adequately cover some of the especially the people that live along that area. Poor infrastructure, poor planning. You spend millions of dollars to rehabilitate a road, millions of dollars, and now you need billions to fix or to put drainage in the road. Which sensible human being construct a road without drainage? Which government? It would have to be that is the Jamaica government. They are the only wise set of people I know. Because it makes no sense that you are building a road, right? And you're building a road and you made no preparation, absolutely not even iota of preparation for drainage. And I'm going to show you the geography of this area. So this is the Kingston Harbor right here. This is the road that we just talked about, the Marcus Garvey Road, which is along here. Every single water. You see all of these areas here that you're seeing in Kingston? Look. All of these blue lines are either gullies or rivers. They are waterways. If you look along this area, Marcus Garvey, you're seeing along Marcus Garvey one waterway, two waterway, 3, 4. But along Marcus Garvey, with all of the exit points for the water in the corporate area, if you should count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 different ways in which water exits the city when it rains. 2 of that is within this area, the Marcus Garvey. 2. And in fact, if you want to count the one downtown, which also has an impact, it's not far, we could say 3. But 2 out of the 6 or 3 out of the 6. Now, if you build a road, you rebuild a road, which is right here. Rebuild a road right here. And there's no drainage here. You cut off the drainage for here and here. The water is going to back up. So with the water backing up, you're going to have all of this area being flooded because you cut off the waterway to run freely, because the road was where the water used to run, you use that and you make road. You don't ice it up or build an overhead towards it. No, they build it flat. So all of the water coming in. All of the water coming in from far as places from Stony Hill, Halfway Tree, Constant Spring, Avondale, all of this area, Golden Spring, all of the water when it rains coming from here, coming down, and they are leaving the parish or the city, going into the Kingston Harbor. And if you block all of this area right here, you must be a very wise government. And now you need $1 billion to fix that. I'm going to give you another example using the map. There is a bypass that was created in Seaview Gardens, which was also a waterway. So when they were constructing 3 miles, there's 3 miles. 3 miles is, no, 3 miles would be over this side, Painland. Very good. So 3 miles is along here. Good. My sense of map is excellent. All right, so we have 3 miles, which is here. So when they were building 3 miles, they had a lot of traffic congestion within this area. So the government built a new road, and they basically built it in a swamp. They didn't lift the land, they built it in 1 week, and that was it. And so because the new road was built, every time it rains, the people that live in this area, Seaview Gardens, they face the serious problem of flooding in their communities. So if we use these examples, for sure, we know for sure that flooding is, some of the flooding, especially that we are experiencing here in Jamaica, it's man-made. Man-made flooding. Next. Where is the PowerPoint? All right, so I'm going to so we know some of the effects of flooding on the region, and the next is the drought. What are some of the effects you have when you're experiencing a drought in the Caribbean? Question.
Sir?
Go ahead,
Food shortages.
Food shortages, yes, very good.
Food shortages.
I was saying that it affects agriculture.
Yes, agriculture, loss of crops, yes.
Diseases, sir.
Diseases,
Water shortages.
Repeat.
Water shortage.
Yes, oh yes, that is a major one. And we usually experience drought. Right now, we're going to face some water loss. We're going to face some water loss because drought is a serious problem. and some of the effects of drought uh, on the Caribbean is
Wildfire, sir.
wildfire. Yes, the increase of wildfire, very good. Lack of water, increase in uh, wildfire. If you don't have any water, you drink less drinking water. The next thing is that you drink some water that sometime when the water returns for a short period of time, the water is very, very dirty. Anybody have that experience? The water gone for a week, and when you
Yes,
turn on,
sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. After a period of time, you realize that after the water come back, you realize that where this red water, the water is dirty. So you have that to deal with during the time. Also, when you have water problem, the same water you wash with is the same water you have to save to flush the toilet. I may tell you, so when you don't have water, oh my God, no care what you do, you could put bleach, you spray the bathroom, you do everything. The bathroom still have a scent, right? And it is just drought in the Caribbean is a serious, serious, serious problem. Serious problem. And in Jamaica, I don't think they are doing anything to solve the problem when it comes to drought. I don't think we are doing anything to solve it. Then we have increase of food prices because once there's food shortage, yam are go, well, I wouldn't say yam, but tomato is going to get expensive. Onion get expensive. Scallion get expensive. In fact, this is not as a result of a drought, but as a result of the flood. So with the same effect that you have with the flood, the same effect on the drought. Shortage of food when it comes to flood. Uh, in the Christmas, people couldn't buy certain things. Tomato was selling for like $1,500 a pound some places. Not even gungo rice. A lot of people this Christmas didn't use, last Christmas didn't use gungo rice and peas for the dinner. And you know, says gungo rice we are used to. Even if you have the other peas, the red peas, you cook red peas, but how you cook it two set up rice because some people love gungo, some people love the kidney beans. This year, a lot of homes had to cook kidney beans alone. Couldn't buy the gungo, not even coconut. A lot of house went without vegetable on their Christmas plate this year because when they go to the market, $1,000 cabbage, $800 for a little cabbage. And so the prices of food increased significantly. And also animals are lost as a result of the wildfire. And when you have drought, the soil gets so cracked that it can cause erosion of the soil, and some plants are damaged during this time. And so we know for sure that drought and flood is one of the phenomena that we face in the Caribbean. As I said to the previous class, in looking at natural disaster, geographical phenomena, you have impact of hurricanes. Sorry, the first one we look at was volcanic eruption, earthquakes, hurricanes, drought, flood. In preparing for your exam, right? And I'm talking CX, when you get came. We don't know if you're going to get a question on it, but it's always good to prepare. We know we have social effects, right? And another effect is economic. Economic effects. Before you're going to the exam, most of these things, I should have put this in a table. Most of these, all of them, hurricane, volcano, drought, flood, all of these natural disasters, they all have the very same effects or impact on the Caribbean. So for social health issues, for social destruction of property or infrastructure, social death, all of them can cause death. Economic loss of jobs, loss of business places, economic rebuilding, the damage that is going to be caused by these things, you need money to rebuild, so it's going to have a negative impact on the national budget. And what are the different ways you can minimize or mitigate the impact of these? Because we will have floods in the future, we will have drought, we will have hurricane, we will have earthquake, and this year there's going to be, well, I shouldn't say will be, but it seems as if there will be a volcanic eruption. Well, the volcano is erupting now in St. Vincent and Martinique, but not at the extent that everybody is expecting. And we don't know if it could get dangerous, but it's coming out slowly and slowly and slowly, right? And so we know for sure that these are serious problems that we face in the Caribbean. So when we meet again on Monday, we're going to look at coral reefs. And then when we meet on Wednesday, we're going to finish this topic looking at soil erosion. And then we will be through with geographical phenomena. Any question, any comments?
No, sir.
All right. So ladies, we meet again on Monday. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Same to you, sir.
You too, sir. Same to you.